I'm Daniel.
I'm Andrew. We're two brothers, and this is the Daniel Andrew Show.
Where we give our opinions about movies and TV that we've been watching lately. So, Andrew, how you doing today?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing all right. A little tired. I worked a long shift all day pretty much last night. But busy. Another movie March was just nonstop movies coming out, one every week. It's weird being back in a time where there's like movies coming out, like sometimes more than one movie's coming out every week, because we were in a time where like nothing was coming out. So that's cool. I went and saw a live show theater, and it was pretty fun. That's what I did today. It's a little far away, but it is what it is. You go support people that you're friends with and whatnot. But it was a good time. Saw a movie the other day, and we're gonna talk about that today. After I saw the movie on Thursday, I went to the grocery store. Go to a grocery store that's 24 hours, and I was in line, like getting my groceries, and there was like one line open because I went at like 1 in the morning or something, and I was just in the line, and I saw this magazine, and it was about James Bond, like all the people who played James Bond, and it was like a history basically of James Bond. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna buy that. It was like one of the only times I've ever bought an impulse buy, like at a waiting in line. But I bought it.
I've ever purchased a magazine in my life.
I don't. I'm almost certain that's the first time I purchased a magazine. But I was like, I gotta buy that. It was pretty good. I read the whole thing. It was mostly pictures and stuff. But yeah, it was pretty good. I didn't see any of the people that they were like, who's gonna be next? And I was like, yeah, I don't think any of these people are gonna. It was like Tom Holland. It's not gonna be James Bond or whatever.
Hilarious.
He's so little.
That would be like a great troll.
So goofy. They were like, "Hey, he's gonna be James Bond," and then they were like, "Psych." That would be the only way I would believe that, because that was like, what? And there was people I never even heard of, but whatever. But yeah, that was fun. That was a nice little thing. Did you do anything fun this week?
I have been watching. So I caught up on Sheldon, and I figured I'd try Big Bang Theory.
Um,
I have watched. I've seen episodes here and there, and I've actually been enjoying it. I don't think it's actually like horrible or like bottom tier of like, sitcoms, but it definitely is. It's a different kind of sitcom, that's for sure. It's not very, I don't know, it's not really relatable to most people. It's probably its biggest thing.
yeah.
But I actually have been enjoying it. I think I'm on like season 3 or something now.
Well,
Been watching
right.
it for like 2 or 3 weeks now, though. So,
All right. Well, I guess you enjoy that. I don't know. This show's fine. It's fine. It's just one of those shows that people really liked, and I'm like, yeah, it was there. It's fine. But me and
I
you,
see the appeal. It has so many seasons too. It has like 12 seasons.
yeah. Well, me and you have watched some bad sitcoms. There's one lady who's on Young Sheldon that was on that one of the sitcoms that was goofy. That we watched the whole thing.
That's not a. What are you talking about? That's S tier sitcom right there. What are you talking about?
And I don't even think that anybody watched it but us. So I think we single-handedly kept that show going. But yeah, had a good theme song. That's about it. It was called Baby Daddy. It was a stupid show. Anyway,
If anyone's looking out there for some S tier sitcoms, there you go.
no. I don't even know why we kept watching it, just because, like, I guess we felt like we invested time into it or something. I don't know. But it was like on like ABC Family. That's
Mm-hmm.
not even called that anymore. But I think we would watch them on
They've
Netflix.
changed their name like 1,000 times now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Um. So, any news catch your fancy this week?
So I did want to ask, it was about Shazam pretty much taking like an 80% dip
Mm.
since the first week,
Yeah.
which I don't know all the numbers. I'm just regurgitating what I heard.
Yeah.
Um,
Wasn't good. Wasn't
yeah,
good.
wasn't I? So it's like on track to like do worse than like Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, whatever that title was, 84 or something like that. I don't
I don't even
remember.
know how that's possible. That movie was like barely in theaters, but yeah, it was like the end of 2020.
Yeah, I know.
Woof.
It's
Oh well. Yeah, I don't know. I liked it, so I the March really hasn't missed for me on movies. But I like there wasn't any that I like did not like. I thought all of them were enjoyable to really good. So or
I would
even
say
great.
only disliked one personally.
Yeah.
The others were all just fine or
Yeah.
like above our average, pretty much.
Well, yeah. Well, because like John Wick was the last one I needed to see because I saw one of those advanced screenings of Dungeons and Dragons. So, but March really didn't miss for me. Um, so yeah, but back to Shazam. Like, are you worried about these other movies that are coming up? The other ones that are like still in the Zack Snyder.
Yeah, so well, I am curious. Do you think Flash will uh either be worse or same ballpark? Because that's the next one, and then you have Aquaman.
I don't know because people are excited about Michael Keaton and like because uh,
Mm-hmm.
make no mistake, people care about Batman. Don't care about anything. They don't care about anything else. They care that Batman, multiple Batmans are back. But
Mm-hmm.
I people are. I don't know. I don't know if people it's still gonna equate to like huge box office numbers, but I don't know. We'll see.
Like, I don't think it's gonna like be like higher than their highest DCU film, which I think the highest is actually Man of Steel. I think was their biggest.
I think Batman vs Superman made quite a bit of money. Um,
Maybe it did.
I
From what
I
I was
remember it
watching,
doing
they said
well,
it was. I'm sure they
but
were around the same, if
same, yeah,
anything.
probably, yeah.
So I don't
But
think it's gonna do that for
the
sure.
I don't think the Flash will be a bomb by any means, but I think like Blue Beetle, like I don't think anybody's like running out to see it. It has the kid from Cobra Kai, Miguel from Cobra Kai is going to be Blue Beetle, but
I honestly forgot that that was even a thing.
yeah, exactly. So I think that the the only thing that would save that is that they didn't connect it in any way to any of the other ones, then maybe they can fold it in somewhere, and it has to be really good.
Mm-hmm.
um, so we'll see on that one. Aquaman, the early screenings were like that movie's bad. Like the early screenings were not good. They said like, "Ooh, this is bad." So we'll see. Um, I don't know. People seem to really like that first Aquaman. I thought it was okay, but
Same. I think it was okay too.
it was definitely the effects were really good, but and like because it was like wow, the water looks really good, like the people underwater, and then Avatar, like that's way better. Like now looking at it, it's like
Oh, I mean, That's a that's a tough comparison.
And
That's
then it's really difficult. We got that, and then you got the Amber Heard stuff. She's still in the movie, so God, I don't even know where that could go all over the place. Flash has
yeah.
Ezra Miller. Who knows? There's stuff about Jonathan. Like, there's majors. There's like all these people. How can you even pick people for franchises anymore? You could just have problems. It's like, yeah, I don't know. DC particular. Good luck to them
It's
on
a
these last
very
movies.
bad track
Yeah,
record of
yeah.
picking people.
You got there's a lot of weight in. Yeah, James Gunn was canceled back in the day. Like, I don't know.
Hmm.
You got to wade in the waters there. We'll see. I don't know. All I know is that we'll probably talk about the movies. I don't know. I'm debating if I even want to watch The Flash because of Ezra Miller, but
Hmm.
we'll see how that works out.
That's a good point. They have such a horrible track record of picking people at WB, and then the people who actually show up and are on good basis with the fans and stuff, they don't want them in their movies for some reason. It's like
It
the exact opposite.
super weird. I don't. Well, like, I think people like Jason Momoa. It's just that the movie might be bad. Um, yeah, I don't know. Zachary Levi seems to be having like a meltdown. I don't know what's going on
Hmm.
there with the Shazam stuff. Like, I don't. But also, I feel like Shazam had issues with, The Rock wanting to be The Rock and coming in and being, I'm the best, and you should give me the keys to the castle, and that didn't work out for him. Um,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it did better than Shazam. I think. I don't know what it compares to the other ones, but
I know, but they should have been intertwined instead of him like basically being like, I'm not have anything to do with Shazam, even though everything has to do
yeah.
with Shazam. And then at the end, it's like, oh, I'm gonna fight Superman now. It's like, okay, whatever. So
Yeah. The sad thing about The Rock, I think he just had bad timing jumping into the franchise. Like, it's getting basically reboot. It just wasn't good timing. Like, if he had tried to do this
that
later,
movie,
maybe.
Black Adam, was in development for literally like a decade, and it's just,
Uh, they were trying.
oh yeah, he wanted to be Black Adam
That's
for
right.
years,
That's right.
but he just wanted to make the character something he's not. Um, oh well, I don't know. It's I the just the possibility of things piques my interest, just to see how it could be. It could be like a car wreck that you can't look away from, or it could be like do well and there's good movies
No,
there.
the last ones that are coming out, it's going to be that car wreck, I think.
Okay. Maybe.
So for we know Superman's gonna be our first debut. James Gunn, he's doing basically everything on it. He might as well just be
Yeah,
Superman at this point.
kind of, but
Um,
yeah, well, they're gonna do like some shows and stuff in between, it looks like, I think. But yeah, pretty much the
I mean, we're
first like
talking about the
movie.
movies.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I get they're trying to do what Marvel's doing and they have TV show everything coincide, but
yeah,
you have to make good movies first before you get me interested in any TV shows.
yeah. Well, the DC has always had a really good animation department. Like, those movies do well. Like, people
I
really
agree.
enjoy those.
I hear good things about them.
Like,
Yeah.
I liked
I
Harley
mean, they're
Quinn, the
never
show.
shown on, the big screen. That's all television stuff. That's
Well,
not.
the thing that DC does have is they have the other stuff that isn't in the main line, like Joker. Like, there was those pictures that came out of Lady Gaga on the set of Joker 2 in her little diamond, Harley. She's Harley Quinn. They haven't said yet for sure she's Harley Quinn, but
Hmm.
the pictures is clearly Harley Quinn. But
Yeah.
and and they got the Batman, the Robert Pattinson. So, like, they have good pieces, but they're
They
I
can't put them together. But
yeah,
the Superman will be the start of that, I believe, right?
yeah.
That's going to be the main piece.
I
Now, do
just
you think, based off of what we know, do you think that will top the current top of the uh, DCEU, which is Superman, or possibly Superman versus Batman? Do
you
you
mean
think it'll be
money wise? Yeah,
money wise? I mean, that's all that studio cares about. So,
I think a Superman movie could definitely make a lot of money. And if a trailer comes out and it seems kind of, it can be like, I think if it's a little rough around the edges, kind of thing, it might be fine. But I think it needs to be Superman, not Batman disguising as Superman, dark
mhm,
crap. It needs to be Superman. He needs to be saving the day. I don't know if going a weird cynical Superman,
mhm.
nice guys don't work or whatever thing. I think that would be a huge mistake. I think you need to do Superman, like
Yeah, we
the
want the
knight in
hopeful
shining.
Superman. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
not dark Suicide Squad. We need Superman.
yeah. I mean, it'll
So
obviously depend on their marketing and what narrative they push. Obviously, I was just wondering if you think.
you have the John Williams score. You have talented
Mhm,
people that can write good superhero. Like Guardians of the Galaxy is a great movie. You have
mhm.
that guy writing and directing. He can do hopeful, well done, well intentioned, nice, heartfelt stuff. He can do it. He needs to get out of his own way and not
Mhm.
put too much of his shtick into it.
Suicide Squadness into
Yeah, he needs to
it.
get out of his own way and just write a good, straightforward, good Superman story. That's all he needs.
But that's I think kind of the problem because since he's doing basically everything. Will there be anyone there to kind of rein in the vision at all?
I think that the other guy, Peter Safran, needs to
Is
be
that guy?
he is that guy because, well,
Okay.
first of all, he produced those Shazam movies. I liked that first Shazam. That first Shazam, basically, if you switched out Shazam for Superman and kept that kind of like up tone family thing, like kind of just the first
Hmm.
one, which had its heartfelt moments. If Peter Safran produced that, he can um, help James Gunn produce a Superman movie. I think it's there. It could be made. A great one could be made. Also, a horrible one, catastrophe, could be made. And
Hmm.
I don't see a lot of in between. So,
Yeah.
but I think they need to do like an Iron Man, it's just about one person. No,
Oh yeah, for sure. I
don't
do
even,
not shoehorn in your wife
yeah,
to try to
don't,
get him to
no,
join the Justice Society.
no
Please don't.
wife, no Waller, nothing, none of that. Just Superman story, not even end credit scenes, just the end.
Hmm.
And then move on from there. And you need to find somebody good to play Superman. Um, and I think you need an unknown.
I
So,
do.
or
I think there
relatively
is
unknown.
going to be one more factor when to the time this movie actually gets around to coming out that will affect how well it does. Is I think we're going to be what is this 2025 we're talking
Yeah.
about pretty much? Isn't that going to be like Avengers territory? I
Yep.
think this is going to have to compete against the Juggernaut. Like if they had
It.
good stuff coming out now, would have been a good time because it's kind of
I think
a
that.
fatigue right now.
I think that it would be sandwiched. I think they're doing, because Avengers, I want to say, is like November 24, and then like late or like early summer or late
Yeah.
summer of
So I think you're
25.
right. Yeah, it's like sandwiched
So it'll
right
be
in
like
the middle of
sandwich,
it.
but there's been like they've had like Aquaman came out the same year as another big one, and they both made like $1 billion. So it can be done. That you can. I think you can get around it. And Superman is a character that you can easily
Hmm.
do.
I'm not saying it's not possible. Obviously, it's possible.
I would say I don't envy the job that he has to
Yeah,
do.
I think it's just another factor that might hold it back from making, you know, good money to all the money, you know.
I think
So
he can make do get a buttload of money from that, and be well regarded. Just you just gotta get out of his own way. Um, it's so funny talking about James Gunn. He's like he has such a stamp on everything he does, and two directors that do that, Tarantino and Jordan Peele. Both of them talked about their new movies that they're gonna do. Jordan Peele is all secretive about his, but his is coming out Christmas of 2024. Do you have you seen any of his movies?
no, that's like Nope and
Get Out, Nope,
yeah,
and
no.
Us.
No, I haven't seen any of
Well, dang.
them. I mean, they just based off like trailers that I've seen and stuff and people's reaction, they seem like very high valued horror. Um,
Get Out is a really good movie. like, um,
yeah, I mean, we've talked about how I feel about horror, and it's just not really for me. I'd
yeah,
more than have like if it Get Out was to come out tomorrow, I'd go see it and give you my opinion. But
yeah. I think Get Out isn't. Like it is a horror movie, but it's not like super scary. I think that's probably why I like it. It's more like psychological, and the plot of it is so airtight. I think with some of the stuff, that's a good movie. He won.
that's
I think he
that
won.
helps horror when
I
you
think
have
he
it.
won the best screenplay at the Oscars for that
Hmm.
movie. Like, and that's his first direct, you know, full directing movie, and he wrote it. So, but all right, well, I'm excited about it. I'm gonna watch it because just purely based on, but I don't know. The last two movies have had really good parts and really bad parts, and I just hope he's not, not another Shyamalan, and hopefully he can be like a, I don't know, I can't even think.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're
We'll
saying.
see. Tarantino's last film, quote unquote last film, he said he's only going to make 10, and he considers Kill Bill 1 and 2 one movie. So this would be his 10th and quote unquote final film, and it's called The Film Critic or something, The Movie Critic or something. And it's going to be based in LA, another um, period piece in the 70s about, I guess, a film critic or something. Um,
Huh.
Female lead, again. What do you think about him saying this is his final movie? Um,
Um, I mean, it's taken him a really long time to pick what he's wanted to do.
yeah,
Just in general, since his last film, it's what like
3 years.
3. Okay.
2019. Yeah, 29. So yeah, coming on 4 years. Yeah,
And I mean, I doubt they started shooting it or something. So
yeah. I
it'll still be a couple more years after that.
Well, because I heard he was making this one movie, and then I guess he's not making that movie anymore. He's making this movie. He was talking about maybe writing a Star Trek film at one point. He wanted to do a Django crossover with Zorro at one point. I don't know what happened with that, but
I
um,
mean, I think he could do whatever he wants. I mean, he has the pull to go to a studio and be like, I want to do this. Can we make it happen? Or can we
yeah,
make something else happen? So he could always come back and do whatever he wants, essentially. But if he doesn't want to do anything, which just seems to be the case, he wants to be the 10 film master or something.
I think, I think he will maybe like co-direct or guest direct or something, and then like
Mm,
write things. I think he'll still be involved, but he won't just be like directed only by him type thing. I think that's
mhm.
how he's gonna like get around it, because someone that has an encyclopedic knowledge of film and loves film as much as he does. I just don't see him being like, all right,
Doing nothing. Yeah.
pack it up. I'm done. I'm all good. I did what I wanted to do. I just doubt it. But I've been proven wrong before. But
Time will tell. We'll see.
um, but yeah, I would definitely say that it would be a freaking bummer if he just stops making movies. But we'll see. Um, so time to hop aboard the trailer train here. Um, did you watch any trailers that got you going?
No, not really.
All right. Well, one trailer that definitely got me going was Power Rangers. I
Oh
don't remember
yeah,
the rest of it. Once and
that got you
Forever or
going.
something. Yeah, love Power Rangers, man. Power Rangers
I
was
mean,
it,
I love
bro.
Power Rangers, but
You don't like seeing old dudes in
it's
their
so
old
sad
outfits?
and pathetic. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll definitely be watching this for sure. They announced it a couple months back, but now we have an
I'm just
actual
like,
trailer.
I'm just like, man, it must be so hot in that suit. I feel bad for this old guy. Like, put a young person in there. That's what I feel like.
You saw the old guy and you went, "Ay ay ay!" It must be hot in there.
Seriously,
I loved it. I'm
I don't.
excited, and you
I
got
don't think
Rita
it looks
Repulsa
that
there
great. And
wearing a mask
yeah,
because it's not the same actress. Clearly, because it's not Japanese. That they
hmm
love it. Good stuff. Same lady doing the voice though.
yeah. I mean, I think it'll still do good for like a Netflix thing. But I don't think like if they were never gonna put this in theaters or something, this ain't gonna make millions of dollars.
Oh yeah, no, it's just a special or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely gonna watch it for sure. It's coming out
Uh, I'm
soon
only gonna
too.
watch it if we are doing a review for it. I don't think this is something I'd go out and see myself.
Well, I guess we'll have to scratch whatever's coming out that week so we can talk about this then.
I don't know when it comes out. I'm just
I think it's April sometime, so we probably have something else that we're talking about, but I'm happy to scrap it.
if it's like some Avengers movie or Marvel
Yeah,
movie, I don't
it's
think I'm scrapping that
the
for
next.
Power Rangers.
I don't even think the next Marvel movie is not coming out until November, right?
I have no
Marvels.
idea.
I don't know. No, that's Guardians is next. How could I forget? Um, you see the trailer for Joyride with the girl from Everything Everywhere All Once?
Yeah, and I mean, you asked if the trailers hyped me up. Okay, none of them hyped me up.
Sorry,
Okay.
anything pique your interest? Got you your eyebrow raised like The Rock?
Mm, I guess eyebrow raised. I guess on that one, but it's not. I don't know. This is another one that I might not see if we don't review it.
This was one that was kind of is another one like that trailer with that other movie where it's like I don't know in the beginning, but it kind of sold me going along a little bit more.
Really, I was the opposite this time. I thought the
You were
beginning looked
curious,
kind of funny,
and then
and then it
yeah,
was just like everything
ridiculous.
broke out. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was like nah,
true.
pass.
I could see that. I could see that. Yeah, I don't know the K-pop thing. I thought that was pretty funny.
Ugh.
I don't know. Works for me,
You
but
know what that reminded me of?
what?
That reminded me of in 80 for Brady that we didn't even watch in the
Mm,
trailer where they're like, we're dancers.
yeah,
And
it
then
is
they like,
exactly like that.
yeah, it's literally like the same joke. I was like, I don't
Except
know.
they're not old, instead of being old, they're
Yeah,
just
yeah,
bad dancers. Yeah.
yeah,
That scene's probably either hilarious or the death of cringe by
yeah,
death by cringe,
exactly.
but
Yeah.
we'll see. Um, the the trailer for like the story trailer and showed more stuff about Jedi Survivor, the next Star Wars game comes out the end of April. Uh, that was fun. It looks like you're gonna be like partnering up with people and stuff instead of just them being like, "Good luck on your mission, bye bye."
Yeah, I did see it. Yeah, in previous trailers, they kind of showed like I don't know if it's like a cutscene or but like almost like a co-op execution thing or something with one of these people you're gonna be adventuring with, which
Yeah,
I think is pretty cool. That'd be so cool if this was like a co-op game and you could double execute people with
that'd
like
be
an
cool.
actual real person. That'd be so cool. That's not happening, but I don't know. Whenever we introduce co-op, it's like, oh, we better put in a gear system in it or something because that's what people like.
That's true. I I don't know. I I'm excited for this game. I might even pre-order it. In between pre-order because I think you can get like a little bit cheaper actually if you pre-order it. But I don't know. I'm
Uh,
excited. It's a Star Wars game,
I mean,
and
it's $70. I mean,
well, I think it's like if
technically
you
$10 more expensive than what it would have been last year.
well, yeah, but um, isn't it always 70 now for the upgraded
Yeah,
versions or whatever?
yeah, it's always 70 now. I will still maintain my mindset though.
But I think it's like $8 cheaper if you pre-order it or something. I don't know, whatever. But I'm gonna definitely play it for sure. I heard you say the word gears. Uh, there's a I forgot about this news, but they found the writer for a Gears of War movie. Uh,
Uh,
and it's the writer that wrote Dune, write Dune and Doctor Strange.
hmm.
So, video games, movies that Andrew likes, writing the Gears of War movie. So that's cool.
I mean, that's probably the kind of people you want to write something like this. There's no way they're not like when you come up with this idea, you're wanting a franchise. So, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
This
Well,
is not going to be like some standalone movie or something, unless it does bad.
hey, well, with that connection with Dune, maybe Batista can be what's his name? The guy. He literally was like in one of the games where you could like put a Batista skin. What's
Mm-hmm.
his name?
That was like the third Gears 3, I think.
Marcus or something. Is that his name? Marcus?
Isn't that the main Dom? Is that what you're talking
Dom.
about?
Yeah, Dom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. Anyway, I'll definitely watch. I would watch a Gears of War show or movie or whatever, but that's one that it was like mostly about story, but also the gameplay was pretty fun.
I mean, if they did a movie, there's like three things that would most definitely have to be in the movie: curb stops,
Chainsawing up the
chainsawing
middle.
the monsters,
Yeah.
and specifically showing them like revving it up,
Yeah.
like and
Yeah.
then doing it. You can't just like have someone chainsawing someone in the back
They
or
should
something.
get Sam Raimi to do it to direct that movie because he was famous for Evil Dead and Ash uses a
That would,
chainsaw in Evil Dead. They should get Sam Raimi
that
to
would
do
be
it.
cool. That would be cool.
They probably already have a director. I'm just making connections with other movies, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool. Anyway, so that was all the news, and the trailer train is run out of steam this week, but uh, we're gonna talk about Andrew, I'm sure most anticipated movie of this year, which is John Wick 4. And before we get on the old love train, because I'm sure that's where Andrew will be on, I will give my short little thoughts here. This movie is ridiculous, fantasy at this point, with the bulletproof jackets and people falling off of buildings and living. Um,
I mean, I will say in the last one, it had already gotten to that point
Yeah, but
in the
this
last
movie
film.
really is like wowie.
This is this is bigger, more expansive. Yeah, it just expands on all of that. And
Bigger,
if you can't get past, that aspect, then it's gonna be a rough movie for you.
bigger, louder, ridiculous. People getting hit by cars and stuff, and they're just picking back up. Pretty ridiculous. With that being said, I had a really good time with this movie. Um, it was solid. The best shot won by far, and that's because they
Oh,
had
cinematically,
over
yeah,
double the budget on this film. The
it
first
definitely shows. It definitely shows.
the last two movies were made for like 40 million a piece. This one was made for $100 million. It's clear that they put a butt ton of money into it, and it showed. I was quite happy with the like cinematography, the stunt work, um, car stunt work, and
Mhm.
riding
The
horses,
stunt
and
work is like, I mean, we're going into like Tom Cruise territory where like, I mean, he's sets the bar right, and they're at
yeah,
least licking it. So it's
yeah,
like very good. Yeah,
yeah.
continue. Sorry.
The stunt work is great. The watching these movies goes, why is there not like a stunt category at the Oscars? Because if anyone would get one, it would be them.
Seriously,
Um,
yeah.
I think I would totally not blink an eye if cinematography on this one got nominated for an Oscar. That this movie looks great. The sound sounded great. I saw it in the Dolby Cinema, so the um, sound was loud. He's like punching this thing in the beginning of the movie, and it's like bang.
Oh my god, that was so loud.
I
Yeah.
was like I thought my ears shattered because I saw Dolby is literally for the Dolby sound. That it's like, oh my god, I thought I was in an earthquake. But yeah, this movie was really enjoyable. So this will be the last movie from Lance Reddick, who actually passed away like a week ago
Mhm.
or so. Um,
That's very sad. Yeah.
yeah, it's he was a really good actor, and it's weird seeing him in this movie like right after he passed away. Uh, I don't know if it's his last. This will be his last project or whatever, but um, this movie kind of feels like a video game, like movie in itself.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
um, and he loved video games. Lance Reddick. He was in Destiny and like Horizon
Hmm.
Zero Dawn and stuff, and he was loved like he was in Destiny, but he also loved Destiny. Apparently, he was like a really good guy, and would like
Hmm.
play Destiny with fans and stuff. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah, so it was kind of a bummer watching him in this movie, but yep, I thought this was a pretty decent movie. Um, so, uh, you have any off the top thoughts?
I'm pretty much just echoing pretty much everything you just said. I would say I really like the sound design for the movie as well, like the actual music that they chose.
Yeah,
I I don't know. I'm not saying everyone would like it, but I do like the rave kind of music
yeah,
that they chose. I'm just a fan of that music in general. So really, like they literally are basically picking a song and then they're choreographing this fight, whatever fight's going on, to the music. It's like really awesome, and that was probably the only thing I'd add to on top of what you said.
yeah. Sound design, the music is good. That there is a scene in a club, once again, Fantasyland, where people are getting
Yeah, I
thrown
want to talk about that in the spoilers for sure. I feel
around
like
and
there's
stuff.
actually, compared to like the last one and the one before that, I think this one definitely has the most potential for spoiler talking about
Yeah,
what happened in the movie than
yeah.
the
I would.
previous one.
This is in like trailers and stuff where they're in clubs and stuff, but in a club.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm not to get any specific. There's some ridiculous stuff in this. I will say that. It's definitely not going to be like a 10 or anything from me. But it's going to be I this movie for me is an 8. I think it was a really well made movie. Solid movie. It's just, yeah, a little bit too much kind of fantasy ridiculousness for me. He would have been dead a long time ago. It's just kind of ridiculous. Um, I feel like, yeah, you're right. It was kind of getting that way in the last one, but this one is just like, all right, I got it. Uh,
I
I
mean, it has always had that effect, but I will say this is what the fans wanted. This is the people who go watch John Wick. This
Yeah,
is what they want. They want more action. They want more over the top. They want more headshots.
yeah,
They want more people flying out of windows.
yeah. No, I'm
Um,
I'm cool with all that. It's just, the plot's kind of thin. Um, I don't know. It's kind of, kind
I
of.
actually thought this one in particular, minus the first one, which I think actually has the best plot of all of them.
Yeah, because it's
Um,
so simple. I feel like.
it's very simple. It's just a
Yeah,
revenge tale, right?
yeah.
I think this one out of you want to call it you called it the trilogy when we were talking about it a couple weeks ago or something. I think this one has actually the best story of the three, and I want to talk about it in the spoilers with you. Um,
Interesting. Um, yeah, I would say like the first one's kind of its own thing, and then 2, 3, 4 kind of
yeah, it's like
a
its own
trilogy.
trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
I
saying
would
I'm
say
saying it's the best
so.
story out of the three. I'm not saying it's the best story. Of the entire
S-
movie series franchise or
I
something like
I
that.
think this is the best one. Uh, just just well made, best made film of the 4. I would say like for me it's probably like 4, 2, 1, 3.
Yeah.
Um, for like if I was ranking them, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I think I'm going to agree with you. I think for me personally, I think is the best film. I've actually heard that people think the first one is the best. Now that I've watched some reviews of other people thoughts that I don't think the first one for me is the best just because I think there's not a I like how much action is in this one compared to the first
this
one.
this is the conversation that everybody has, right, with something that goes on for this long. The first one is the one that introduced it, and like Toy Story, first one, so
Mm-hmm.
revolutionary, blah 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 blah. But is it the best one? I don't know. Um, I seem to like sequels. I like the second one in a lot of things. Like I love Toy Story 2. I like the second one. I think this one just, if the second one was this well made, like technically, I think the second one would be my favorite one because I feel
I
like
see what you're saying.
everything is
This
just,
one had the cinematics and stuff for you was really
yeah.
out.
We'll talk about the sequences and spoilers, but this one had the
Yeah.
best set
Mm.
piece
Yeah,
story,
what's crazy, the
action
second
scenes.
one was like a January movie. Like they
Yeah,
didn't know if it was gonna do
because that
and
first
like thinking
one,
about it now, John Wick is like, a name. It's like
the
the
first one
blockbuster to see.
was basically almost direct to DVD
It's like a
movie.
cult classic movie, pretty
Uh,
much, yeah.
yeah, it's one of those movies that people were like, "Have you seen this one? This one's so good. We gotta watch. Like, well,
Hmm.
let's get it on Redbox." Like that. It came out in
Yeah.
2014. This basically a decade ago. And people were like, "You gotta see. What you gotta check." Like, it's like The Raid, where the people talk about like, "Oh, this action movie." You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
and it's funny seeing like, it has a lot of Eastern, um, like, martial arts and stuff like that I think have heavily, um, affected, the John Wick movies, and we like those. Getting a love me some Donnie Yen. We got Donnie Yen in there, and
For
um,
sure, for sure.
good stuff. Um,
I think
I
I didn't give my rating on it. I think this movie's a 9 out of 10 for this
mm,
particular one.
Yeah, I would.
But to be fair, I don't think any of them are a 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
Um, I was hearing that the first one people are saying is 10 out of 10. I don't think that movie's a 10 out of
I don't think any of these movies are literate. People are calling them the word masterpiece. No, I'm like
10. I
it.
can see someone saying, like, this is a type of movie. This is a genre. This is a blockbuster, summer blockbuster movie.
That came out in
And
March.
I could, yeah, I, yeah, but you could easily, but it's a blockbuster. Fine. It's a spring. It's literally spring break. It's
Yeah, yeah.
it is that type of movie. I could see it being a masterpiece of its genre. This is not, you know, any, Oscar winning, best picture movie or something. It's
I
not
would.
that. I
I
think it
would.
is a masterpiece of its craft. Yes.
I think. Yeah, stunt work, cinematography, sound design, um, like the production design, like the stuff, the little worlds that they create is really cool. It's just, yeah, there's some of it is so hokey ish, over the top. But the thing is, I like that too. It's weird
Hmm.
for me because it's such a well made movie. But yeah, I think it is for predominantly male. They're going for the coveted 18 to 35, demographic men, you know, people that will go out and see it multiple times. Um,
Hmm.
I would watch this movie again.
I would
Um,
say younger than 18. I'd say like 14.
I know, but there's literally a demographic like
Yeah.
where it's
Is this
broken up.
R?
Oh yeah, it's
Okay.
blood
Just
and
want to.
cussing
Yeah.
and
I didn't actually think there was that much like you can kind of get away with some curses here and there in PG-13. I was just making sure.
oh,
I thought it was R.
it's definitely R. You see people getting messed up. So yeah, there are for sure. Um, it's violent, yeah. But yeah, there was some new characters that I liked. We'll get fully into them in spoilers. This the tracker guy and Donnie Yen and of course you got Hiroyuki Sanada because he's the only Japanese samurai dude ever
Well, they also know
apparently.
each other. They've been in movies together before.
Oh,
Him and Keanu. They were in, what is it, 47 Ronin or not
oh,
Last Samurai,
it's
but
47 Ronin. I didn't
yeah,
realize
47 Ronin.
he's Scorpion in the newest Mortal Kombat. Good,
Mhm.
good actor. He's in Bullet Train. I like him. Cool with him. Cool, you got what's his name? Who's Winston? Ian McShane, who's doing his darndest. Um,
Yeah, I think him and the other guy are kind of just here because they were in previous films, but they almost have nothing to do with
yeah. And,
what's going on.
and then you got Bill Skarsgård being your, I guess, main villain or whatever. But obviously, there's lots of people coming after him. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah,
I'm ready to move into spoilers.
I think everyone did their thing. It's yeah. Um, definitely go and
Definitely
check
go
it out.
watch it. Yeah, go watch
I
it
would
if you
definitely,
like action movies for sure.
yeah. I would say that, yeah, there. It's a good movie.
It's worth the price of admission. It's
Once
worth it.
again, the recent months, there's been these movies that coming out, and they're for the theater. It's a theater experience. Um, I'm, so, and this one is definitely you want the loud. You want to be like you're in the club when there's fighting in the
Hmm.
club, and it's loud and fun and bright colors. The like neon, vibrant colors that they do in these movies, and this one in particular, the cinema, like the shots of Paris and Japan and stuff, really
Hmm.
good. Yep, we can get into spoilers.
Alrighty, yay!
So the the opening of the movie is basically just the aftermath of the third one. uh, you know, apparently him betraying John Wick, Winston betraying John Wick doesn't matter. They're still going to condemn the New York Continental or whatever for some reason, because there's a new bad guy that they wrote here.
Yeah, exactly. They needed to have him and Winston on the same side.
Exactly.
That's why it was written that way. Yeah.
Yeah, because yeah, I will say that's it's like the writing and stuff is weak for me. That's one of the points
Like I
knocked off for
okay,
me for sure.
I will say the writing, like I think the like what they actually say in the movie, the dialogue is quite good, but like the writing, the plot itself is just to push for, battles in certain areas. They're just setting up these scenarios. That's all the plot really is for setting up the battles, basically, the fights that
Yeah,
happen in the movie.
exactly.
Which is very video gamey esque. It's like
Exactly.
time for boss battle. Even the fighting itself is very video
Yeah.
gamey. Like your suit is your health bar, and you have to
Yep.
manage your stamina to get up 10 flights of stairs and then
Yeah.
get pushed down. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. They just had this villain, and then he kills Lance Reddick's character, Chiron or whatever his name is. And it's like, oh,
Mhm.
that blows. And then it's just
Yeah.
really weird watching the movie. And it's like, oh, well, he's definitely is gone. And I don't know, that hit differently for sure in the movie with the funeral and or funeral or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
agree.
that was kind of the opening of the movie. He goes and kills the elder guy who's played by a different actor, probably because they couldn't get that actor back. So they're like, this guy before me, blah blah blah. Um, and then he's going after the high table. So he's on the run basically from the high table, and then he just for some reason he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go get all another continental in trouble. He goes to Japan, and that's where we're like our first act kind of is. Um,
Hmm.
so you can introduce the henchman guy
Donnie
and
Yen.
Donnie Yen and the daughter and the Hiroyuki Sanada's character and the daughter. Don't remember what the Sanada's character name is.
I think it's like Asaka or something. I can't remember either.
I don't know, but the uh, his character, and then the daughter is like the concierge of that continental, the Japan continental, um, and John Wick just shows up, of course, like he's Batman, and then they come under siege, and you we know that um oh yeah, I forgot that Donnie Yen, they showed Donnie Yen's character, and they're like, I'm gonna kill your daughter if you don't do what I
Yeah,
say.
little in scenes before it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you don't.
Basically, this whole, first half hour is setting up all the characters of the film.
Yeah,
Yes.
basically go kill John Wick, as all the other ones have been.
Hmm.
And then they introduced Donnie Yen, who is once again playing a blind guy for some reason. I don't know why he needed to be blind, other than
Yeah.
he has cooler scenes, like it raised some tension up
I have heard about
different
this. Yeah.
times.
I don't think he needed to be blind. I don't know why they made him blind. Just because, I don't know, want to compare it to the Star Wars movie where he was also blind for some reason.
Yeah,
He didn't
I don't.
need to be blind. But I will say he did a great job of making it actually feel somewhat realistic, I guess. Like, no one could have done that part better than Donnie Yen.
Yeah, we
I
love
will
Donnie
say
Yen,
they
obviously.
actually utilize Donnie Yen, though. That's my biggest beef with that Rogue One movie. Is
I
all he does
disagree.
is he's whacking people on the stormtroopers on the head with sticks and stuff.
I will disagree that you.
So stupid.
Whatever.
He is so
Oh my gosh,
underutilized in that
you're
movie.
so wrong.
This movie, he is fully utilized.
Yeah,
I want
obviously.
I will say he wanted I would have liked a little bit more of them two fighting each other. I think it was a little short,
There's a
but
there's a scene where there's one guy who's in like the riot gear helmet thing, and he's like a prolonged part with that particular one. I was like, I bet you anything that's one of like Donnie Yen's team guys, because he kind of sounded like he was making like noises and stuff like that most of the other guys weren't making, and they were like actually fighting and doing like more martial arts fighting.
hmm.
And I bet it's one of his guys. I wouldn't be surprised, or maybe even Donnie Yen. Who knows? Um, but because that one just seemed like more prolonged, that the fight with one of these henchmen guys. Anyway, they go do this siege on the Continental, and then that Continental in Japan, and then Hiroyuki Sanada gets killed by Donnie Yen's character, or doesn't get killed, whatever you want to say. But he's like,
And let me just say the fight scene, this whole fight scene with the bows and arrows and swords, even the Donnie Yen versus him sword fight at the end was just amazing. Kind of calls back
I
to
would
the
say
Crouching
that was
Tiger
okay.
stuff.
I would say that where they're fighting with swords was fine. At the end,
I liked it.
I like the part.
It was a little short.
I
I
like the
think.
part where he has like the little doorbells, basically, that he puts on things. So when they walk by, that you're like, ding
Yeah,
dong, I know where he is. Like
I
that.
loved the bow and arrow. How it's just like it makes sense that it would pierce through their armor when it's a giant arrow. They
Yeah,
probably,
all of
yeah.
that worked for me. I think for the set, like the three acts, I would say Paris is my favorite one, and then when they're in Japan, and then when they're in Germany is my least favorite. Um, but I would say there's good stuff. Lots of good action in this. I like Hiroyuki Sanada, and the daughter was fine, and she was pretty engaging. This is her first film, by the way. That daughter,
Mhm.
um, ever. So, but she was good. They played that off well. I think I already like like Japanese style and whatnot, and I like that like martial arts movies and stuff, and I like
Mhm.
seeing them face off and stuff. So I think it worked for me more in that way. Um,
This was. I think it sets up the film great too, and I like a lot of the lore of what they're going to deep dive later in all these spin-offs that they're making of John Wick. I found like the daughter was the most interesting of what they're gonna, and Donnie Yen, they're doing more with him and stuff.
yeah, well, there was
Definitely much more interesting than the other bits that I think they're also spinning off.
yeah. I think we can get it into that end credit scene because this is like the only time these people come up, really.
That's true.
That's the first time they've ever done an end credit scene for a John Wick movie, which was made sense, which we'll talk about later. Um, why people were like, "There's got to be something after this, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And it was
Yeah.
just the you know
Yeah.
Donnie and her coming up. That was interesting. I liked her character, so I'm cool. If they do spin off, or if there's another John Wick movie, I don't know, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I think what I'm trying to say. So for this first, would this be the first act up until they leave? Basically, you call that the first act.
Yeah, because like the tracker guy comes and helps John Wick get away with his dog, and where you like see the
Mm-hmm.
dog and show up and
Yeah.
stuff. And yeah, I would say
I thought all the action was great. I'd say this was a very solid first act. I think it was quite good.
yeah, you got the setup, and then you have him at the Continental, and then big fight scenes and stuff like that. It was good. It was really
Like
enjoyable.
the tense part of it when they're like basically telling the kind of main henchman guy to leave and stuff,
Hmm.
and they like slowly draw their swords and
Hmm.
everything. I really liked
And
that.
he turns the lights down to be more cinematic. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
cue the cinematic lights, please.
Turn up the music,
Bum
please.
bum.
Let's.
Exactly. Uh,
It's like so great. So like it is over the top, but it's just so perfect. It's like, thank you.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, I think we get in this first chunk, we get set up on possibly spin-off stuff. Other characters that we see in the rest of the movie are antagonist-ish, villain-ish thing with Donnie Yen, and you get a little bit of you know.
Yeah.
I will say that Keanu Reeves, he has some kind of like a accent that he's developed for John Wick for some reason. That's only seemed to, yeah, I talk like this, gargly sounding for some reason. Yeah, I don't know. I don't,
I mean, he barely says anything in this movie.
yeah,
I don't think it bothers me at all. I can see how, yeah, he does have. I'm not gonna go full on and say he's like trying to be Batman or something, but yeah, he does have like a very just. He basically only says yeah like this entire movie,
yeah, it's very
but
awkward. I don't know.
he does have some good lines here and there, I will say, and he only has a few. So
Yeah, I would just say that it's like some of that writing and kind of plottishness is kind of it just all kind of fits in that thing for me. It's like really only
it's
the
also
thing.
it's very John Wick is the main character of a video game. He's not supposed to say anything. You're just
That's true.
along for the ride. That's what he is.
I
Yeah.
know, but I don't know. That's why I feel like some of the emotional parts don't really ring that much for me. I have seen all the movies, so yeah, but I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. This one, you almost don't even need to see the first couple of movies. Like the father dying, all of that is set up in this movie. And I didn't find it like super sad or something, but I still felt a little emotion that he was dying and he was like, a very honorable death sort of thing.
Yeah,
You know,
I
I
don't
think
think
they
you.
nailed what they were going for.
I don't think you needed to see the first movie at
You
almost
don't need to see.
at
You don't
all.
need to see any of them. I don't think you need to see any of them.
I would say yeah, you could probably go into this fresh. Yeah, you could.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
I think it would be better if you saw 2 and 3. I think because they you would be
Hmm.
like, well, who are these people? Like, why do I care about the Bowery King and you know
Yeah,
Winston?
but
Yeah,
I think that this movie alone is still going to be enough enjoyment, and it's going to make you want to go see those other movies, other than having the opposite effect and not wanting to see them in general.
I don't
So
know. This one is definitely the best one, so you might go back and be like, well, this one,
I
these,
like what I'm saying about this movie.
yeah.
I think you could say that about any of them. You could start wherever you wanted. You're probably going to start with one, but
You could watch Thor 4 and then go back and be like, wow, Thor 3 and Thor 1 were better than this.
yeah.
So yeah, yeah.
I mean, there's gonna be a victor on which one is the best, but I still think
Shrek Forever After. I'd
they're
rather see
the
1 or 2.
John Wick franchise is pretty like straight line compared to like when we're going on the fourth one, it's not very bouncy like other franchises.
Yeah, yeah. I would say, yeah, there's a consistency for sure. I will say, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Anyway, um, so they're going after John Wick, and now he's in Berlin, um, and he goes to his assassin family or whatever you want to
Yeah.
call them.
Before you continue, I will say this was by far the weakest part of the film. By far, this whole story thing is definitely setting. I don't know, maybe they're setting up some more spin-off stuff, right?
I think that well, because they do the like, because you see the bad guy at the ballerina school or whatever where Angelica Houston was or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, and clearly like because they say his full name, he's John, whatever, very Russian sounding name or whatever. They're just trying to like because they have to expand on all this lore that is all kind of just quickly, hastily written because they go, oh crap, this movie we're making for $1 bajillion, we need to like make sure this lore is built in. It's not. We got to think of more Latin terms to use. Excommunicado, Virgil, blah, 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 whatever. It's like they're working so hard to like.
None of that bothered me. I'm just saying, like, I'm asking, do you know if that this stuff in particular is spin-off
I
stuff? If she
think
talks about her father being killed and stuff,
I can
is
almost guarantee you yes, because
okay. That's what I
this
thought.
because
I feel like that's what
the
these
ballerina
scenes were
thing
for.
the ballerina thing is a prequel and John Wick is supposed to be in it, and they're clearly Russian because she's in the
Hmm.
Russian ballerina school, so I'm sure they'll like, because this lady just kind of like shows up, Katya, and I was like, oh, okay, person,
Yeah, I feel like they're setting like she's going to be in whatever the spin-off thing
it's
is,
possible. I think they're just like maybe talk about the family and then it'd be like, oh yeah, that guy, that lady from from the fourth
okay.
one, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But like I said, a lot of this stuff is kind of slapdash because they build and build and build. So who knows? But yeah, I think this was the weakest part. Basically tell he goes to his family who rats him out or whatever, um, or they're gonna
I
kill
mean,
him.
this part was fine. It wasn't horrible. I think the part where he goes to this new villain and he needs to go kill him,
Yeah,
him in particular, was by far the biggest F of this movie, in my opinion.
it was funny because some people literally like this part. I would say that I
Like the action wasn't bad or anything, and the cinematography wasn't bad or anything. Just like he's coming here to kill you. You're not killing him for some reason. You're kind of over the top, and then for some reason you're playing cards.
I
Like
for some reason I like the card scene. I don't know why. Maybe I just like cards
probably
and
because you just like
poker
cards.
and
Yeah, I thought
James
it was
Bondy
kind of
kind
dumb.
of thing. And it's like clearly he's cheating or whatever. It was I saw somebody put like it was like Daredevil and Kingpin, and then it's Donnie Yen and this guy, like pictures of them. I thought that
Yeah.
was pretty funny.
Hmm.
I don't know. It
And then the whole like the crowd never seems to run away, and then for some reason at the end of the fight, everyone starts running away, and that's when like no
yeah
one's using guns at that point. So why would you run away
yeah
then?
it's stuff like that. Like most of the time I can kind of get over it, but this one was so blatant. Just like, oh wow, watch out! This guy's getting shot in the face right next to me. Oh well, I'm gonna keep
Yeah,
dancing here.
I will say that they've done that in previous films. I'm not saying that's a pass or anything because we rewatched the second one and that's literally what happens. Everyone just keeps dancing anyways, and it's kind of just explained away that this is like, this happens all the time. We're all bad underground people. We don't really care,
I
sort of
guess
thing.
that's possible. I don't know. But
I could see how it would bother people that it happens.
it this one was like more blatant about it. That's it.
I'd say like this whole like section of the movie is what brings it down for me. Brings it to that 9. Like if this had just not been in the movie, it would have not made the movie so long, and it would have tightened it up. I think
well, this
if anything that had to be cut, it would have been this section.
yeah, it would have been like 30-ish minutes, but he needed to be back. He needed to be back in the
Yeah,
someone
and they're
for the
setting up
duel and
spin-offs.
well they.
They're setting up
But
spin-offs.
I
I think
also
that's why
think
it's
they
ultimately in
and
there.
they need him to be like so he could duel him or whatever, and then basically.
I mean, yeah, they could have come up with any reason why it was okay. They could have just said that he was in the family or something. They didn't have to do it this
That's
way.
true.
They chose to do it this way
I don't know.
because they wanted to set up the spin-offs as well.
I would say that I did like the fight scene, except for that John Wick falls from the terrace or whatever, and then but he's like, and I'll just get back up again, start fighting again. But
They do show him reeling and stuff. It's not
yeah,
he falls down and just gets back up like he is some kind of superhero. But it is very, very. If it probably is there, like he's basically just like a superhero at this point.
Yeah,
Like he is doing the impossible.
but
None of this is possible by a human being.
I do like everything with the water falling, and the music was really good, and it was like, yeah, I liked all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the villain was super cartoony,
Hmm.
and was like, oh, he like falls and on his neck or whatever, and then it was just like, haha, look how goofy he looks with
Stupid
his
his face looks. Yeah.
neck all messed up. I was like, that's not. I don't think that's funny. I don't. I just stuff like that doesn't. I don't think that's funny. And people are like, haha, that's hilarious. Look
I
at his face.
agree with you. It wasn't that.
I don't know. Yeah,
I agree with you, but yeah, the crowd of my movie. I don't know about yours. I was also in IMAX. Saw it like IMAX and laser,
yeah,
whatever craziness they
yeah,
come up with. People were like, it was like a roller coaster. Like there was cheering when he was falling out of windows, smacking the car and stuff. Like later in the film where he jumps out of the building and hits the car,
yeah,
the whole crowd was like,
yeah,
"Oh,
yeah,
yeah."
yeah. There was a lot of that when Chiron gets shot. The lady was like, literally
Yeah.
like some of their family member just got shot in front of them or something. But
Mhm.
or like, and then there was like, oh, there was a lot of
Yeah,
that.
like
Ooh,
that kind of person, I that's the kind of person that probably says this is a masterpiece of a film.
yeah, I would not. None of these are masterpieces. They're very well done. But yeah. All right, let's get to the best part of the movie for sure, which is the Paris sequences. Like, there's three sequences that I think are
Would you
great.
say this is like the beginning of the third act though?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I'd say the first act and the third act are the third act's definitely the strongest. I still
Oh
think the
yeah,
first act's pretty strong, but the
yeah.
third
Like I
act
said,
was
third,
amazing.
third, first, and then second is the bottom for sure. The second
Yeah.
act is also the shortest, for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, this third act, this it's just like with Top Gun. The third act here is worth the price of admission. This is the by far the best part of the movie. Um,
Hmm.
there's three sequences that people will remember. It's this chateau top down one. There's the
Amazing.
Arc
Yeah.
de Triomphe circular fight, and then the staircase.
Amazing.
We could talk about all three. I think the Arc de Triomphe is the first part.
It's the first one.
Okay,
Yeah.
I loved this one where they're like playing real life human Frogger. Trying not to get hit by things.
Hmm.
Awesome. Uh,
Just amazing.
it's just
Yeah.
also people.
People are getting hit by cars and he's shooting them while they're flipping
Yeah,
around. And
where he's some guy gets hit and he's like in the air and he's like shooting pop, 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 on the
yeah,
way down.
just
Awesome.
awesome.
Like he's
Clearly, it would never happen.
yeah.
It is fantasy, but I mean, you can't you can't beat it. It's just too fun and too awesome. It's like
The part where both the doors get ripped off and then he's going in a circle and it's pretty clear that is real. Them going in the circle in the car.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
so
it's
good.
amazing.
That's
Yeah,
super good.
great stunt
So
work.
that
He's literally like I think he actually like had to drift and pick up the gun
yep.
in real like just doing that normally would be insanely hard.
Well,
And that he's doing it
it's real.
shooting the movie.
I will
Yeah,
say
it's
that I
amazing.
don't think it's him doing the driving that circle. I think it's a stunt man because you can't really see his face and he has like the long hair and everything. I think that is a stunt man because I've seen some video of like a stunt guy
I
doing
think
the
he
driving.
is. I don't know. I'm not. I know he has a stunt man. He's not Tom Cruise where he's doing every single stunt, but
The
he's doing
Yeah,
probably
yeah, yeah. The
90%.
interior shots where he's doing it is obviously him, but I think the one where it's like the actual like dolly like circle, I don't think was him.
Hmm.
But it's still real. It was not CG. It's real someone
Yeah,
actually
none of
doing the
it.
stunt.
Yeah,
Great.
exactly.
So that's great. And then it goes into the next set piece, which is like where it's
The different
obviously
song
a
and
set
everything.
where they cut the roof off and then you see like the different rooms. This was my favorite set piece in the movie for sure. Dragon's
With the
Breath.
dragon breath, yeah.
I love
Oh,
Dragon's Breath. I think that is the coolest thing, and I love getting to see that in a movie, and
so clear and crisp
it
looking.
looks so good, and it wasn't really fire. It was more like sparkles or whatever, or like sparks shooting
Hmm.
out, but it was freaking awesome.
He was just he was as Harry Potter, and he was casting spells with
Yeah,
them.
and then the tracker guy has the dog and stuff, uh,
And he
too.
chooses to save the dog, and
Yeah, well,
kind
and
of like a callback to the first movie of the dogs. There's
yeah,
not too many dogs
but
in
he's
this one.
also I like this is where you really got to see the tracker guy in action with his like little mini shotgun thing. That was
I
awesome.
even liked his goofy
Backpack
backpack where he could like
shield thing.
put it in
Yep.
front of him.
I liked it too.
Like it was cool. It was well done.
That guy.
Even though it was like at point blank range, should have been able to shoot him in the head. But
Well, there's so many times that people are getting like John Wick gets shot with a shotgun and his jacket saves him or whatever, and he goes flying back. But in the movie, lots of times in the movie, he's getting shot and no.
not by a shotgun.
Yeah, but by other guns, and there's no reaction. It's like he's not getting shot at all. When you get shot,
He's John Wick. He's just used to being shot, man. He
ridiculous.
got the thick abs, man.
I, but I will say that was it was so cool. You see the top down, and you see him going from room to room. Then the shotgun, Dragon's Breath sparkles all over the place. Pretty freaking awesome. That was definitely my favorite set piece for sure. And then you got to see the other guy coming around, and you see him cutting corners and stuff, and then they also follow them and doing good stuff.
Mhm.
Definitely the best for me. And then um, the only part I didn't like about the Paris stuff is the where it's like a radio station. Like, all right, here's one for you
it
guys.
it was a little cheesy. I agree with you.
Go
I
get
didn't.
them.
I liked it. I liked it.
Who's gonna be the big winner? It's just like
It feeds into the over the topness of the
I
world.
feel
I
like
liked it.
they were just a little bit too much up their own butts on this action.
And then I
But
liked all the song choices too. It
yeah,
was just
no, the
like,
music was great. There were good rock and like EDM and stuff. Good stuff. It's just some of it's just a little too ridiculous, goofy.
the music thing didn't bother me.
Yeah, um,
I could see how it could bother someone.
little cringe, little cringe. Um, and then the steps, which people are really enjoying. The step scene where they're running up the steps, and then he gets to the almost to the top, and then the henchman guy kicks him down the stairs.
Can kick them down.
And only thing I could think of, and I had to bring it up to you, was Hot Rod, where he falls down the hill, where he falls down the mountain. Is that what? Did you think of that when we were watching it?
Very much the same. Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking about? Because that's exactly what I thought of. And I was like, I can't wait to talk about this with Andrew, so I can
Well, he
bring up.
likes to fall down. He falls down the stairs with Common in the second one for quite a while.
Yeah, but
as
this
well.
one he
This was
falls
even
down,
more.
and then he's almost, he stops, and then he kicks him down even more, and then
Mhm.
you could tell that he's definitely making himself fall downstairs. But whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
but it was pretty.
I don't know. You probably have quite the amount of impact going down all those.
I will
stairs,
say
though.
at some point I was just starting to laugh because it's just so ridiculous. But
Mhm.
yeah, that I just thought about Hot Rod.
It is. It is to. It is played as comedy though.
Yeah.
It's not like they're not doing that to be serious. They're
Yeah.
doing it to be like, man, he has to go up these steps again.
Yeah. Well, and then Donnie Yen's like, I want you to get up there. Let's go.
Yeah, and then they're like, time for a team up.
Yeah.
What is this? A superhero film team up
Yeah.
or something? It, like gives you just like the perfect sensation right there. It's like,
Yeah.
let's see what's about to happen.
And then the tracker guy shows up and kills the big henchman because he almost killed his dog. Good stuff.
Mhm.
Good stuff.
That was attacking him.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that guy for attacking the dog, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it works, bro. All right, so then they
And you forgot that the dog pees on him afterwards.
yes, people were like, "Woohoo, peeing on
Yeah,
dead guy's
yeah, they
head."
thought that was
I
hilarious.
was like,
Yeah,
"Yeah,
it's kind of gross actually, but
screw that guy." Uh, I
I
just,
don't know.
I just think it's funny. It's just like if you anything about a dog, like literally, a dog is the reason why the first movie, like, he kills all these people, and it's like no problem. Oh, it's a dog.
Dogs just elicit some emotions deep seated in
Well,
humans or
that's
something in all movies.
dogs and babies. If you
Hmm.
or kids, if you hurt a kid, irredeemable. Try to hurt a dog, irredeemable. And for sure, in real life, that's true. But it's like the easiest
Hmm.
manipulativeness. But they
Yeah.
do it and they do it, and it works to perfection every time. Um, yeah. So they get up. By the way, real staircase goes to that real, like, whatever.
Church. Yeah.
Is it
I
a
think it was a
church?
church. Or they say it's not called just church. It's definitely got a name.
Whatever.
But yeah, I
the
know what
real
you
place, and they
mean.
go straight up there. And then they're I did also like hearing like where they're sitting up there, and then like
Just like gunshots
he
going
and you're
off
hearing
and
like
stuff, and everyone's like
you know,
checking their
yeah, and
watch.
they're like, how's he gonna make it? Anyway, good stuff. I, that stuff, I do like details like that, where, and comedy. There's been a lot of comedies in recent years where they're like making fun of stuff like that, where other what are other characters doing here when stuff like that's
Yeah.
happening. Anyway, so they get there and they're gonna do the duel or whatever, and Donnie Yen is stepping into, because cowardly bad guy, uh is not gonna do it himself or whatever. So then they do their 30 paces duel, like, because this is a western now. um
Hmm.
and they do the 3 times, get closer and closer, and then the third time he does a blow to his midsection. Donnie Yen shoots,
Hmm.
and then the bad guys are like, I want to do the coup de grace on him and kill him because I'm a dastardly bad guy. And then, oh, you didn't,
He didn't
he
shoot
didn't
you, fool.
shoot. Follow the rules. Bang! He's shot in the face. End of the bad guy. I didn't talk about this bad guy much because I thought he was pretty paint by numbers bad guy. He had of course, he has his French accent and whatever, but
I will say, yeah, he was like the motivations of him and stuff were very paint by numbers. But I will say, like, the acting of it was quite good. I did like in the scene where he stabs the one guy in the hand
yeah,
and stuff.
like, he did a good
I'm not.
job, but
Yeah, he's not
there's
like the greatest villain. He's no Thanos or
he
something.
did his job.
But he was still
He's
Yeah, he did his job. Yeah.
he did in service of the role. It's just, I just don't think his villain, yeah, it is not elevated. I will not remember when I remember back to this movie. I'm not going to be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, that great villain in that. And it's like, oh yeah, that guy was there too. I
Hmm.
think this is probably going to be the final one. I would think you would get somebody else to be that villain, like someone with more, gravitas, someone more iconic to be that villain. But it is what it
I see
is.
what you're saying. I don't think having a name in his place would elevate the what was written there for him to a higher standard. I don't think it would. I think like in previous films where you have it continues on or something, you would need a better villain. I think going forward they need better villains. The best villain was the first villain, and he wasn't even that great of a villain. He was just like your average like thug bad guy
Yeah,
sort of thing.
yeah,
Um, you need like Donnie Yen's mostly the villain in this movie, even though he's really not.
yeah.
You need someone on par with John Wick to make this film interesting, and I think he filled that role much more than
Yeah, I just
John
think
Wick.
if I saw, you know, I don't know, get like Hugo Weaving or something, just so you can make another Matrix connection or something. But to be
Mm.
it'd be really fun. But
It's like in wrestling, like that guy's the talking guy, while you have like Kane who doesn't talk at all or whatever is doing the action. That's Donnie Yen's part. It's kind
mm,
of the same thing.
I could okay, yeah, I don't know. You're just kind of weak for me, but let's obviously talk about the real deal here. Is John Wick dead? Because what the fart, you know?
I don't think he's dead.
Okay, because if he does die, for sure, what all these people got screwed. That guy Chiron died because of him, and then he's just like, he's free. I made,
I don't think
and
he
now he's
died because of
dead.
John Wick. I think.
Yeah, he
Wait,
did.
Is Chiron the
Concierge
talking about?
for Winston.
No, that was for Winston. I don't think he even Winston says you don't need to be here. Yeah, he goes there. Winston should have died for the choices he made.
It's because of John Wick. I'm
I
sorry.
don't think that I don't think that I thought was the samurai guy. I think is more John Wick's fault than
Doesn't matter.
uh
I just think you're like, oh, I want to be free. I don't want to do this anymore, and then you just die. And it's like you're free for 5 seconds. I don't know that.
yeah. Well, that's what I think. He doesn't die. I think they're faking his death so he can truly be free. That doesn't mean people aren't going to come after him if he's still alive, but technically free from the table. That doesn't mean people still can't hunt him.
I'm not gonna
This way, he's completely off the radar by being quote unquote
dead.
dead in this universe.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna say there's another movie that I saw that I really liked where the main character dies, and it's like, well, that kind of blows it. I'm not gonna say which one it is, but that kind of blows the ending for me, and that sucks. And I just go, I'm just gonna pretend that last 5 minutes didn't happen. I don't know. I don't.
I don't. I'm not saying he. I think he is. There's never going to be another. There's not going to be a John Wick 5 that wraps up stuff or something. I don't think Keanu's going to be the lead in any John Wick movie. I think this can set up like some cameos for either prequel stuff or even possibly later stuff where he's just like shows up, but he's like, I'm supposed to be dead, so don't tell nobody, sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, if he is not actually dead, then yeah, I'm fine. But if he's just dead, I just feel like I don't know. It's just not the resolution that I think is great. That great.
That's what I'm thinking. But what is the resolution that you would want? His wife is dead. They would have to make a whole nother movie to come up with a different resolution to this movie.
I would rather him just be okay. I am free. I do not have
And
to
they
do
just
this
show him
anymore.
like with a dog driving in his muscle car off into the sunset or something.
Yeah, like exactly like the Western that they kind of done, where it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, he can just go be free, and like just
Mm-hmm.
like the
Well,
end credit
I really
scene,
think he's not dead.
the end.
They don't show him die. He just kind of passes out or something. They don't show, that part, and they just show him buried after the fact.
Yeah,
You never see the light
that's
leave his
true.
eyes.
I don't know. Whatever. Uh, Solid movie, really solid movie. Probably the best one just made movie. I'm interested to see what the director has, other than a John Wick movie. I'm cool without seeing any more John Wick. It was good. I enjoyed it. Good stuff. I'm glad it was a good movie just for you because I know you like John Wick, and I'm glad that it was
Yeah,
a decent.
I never thought this was gonna not be a good movie for me. I never thought it was. I don't. It'd be very hard to ruin this with everyone who's still involved in it. So.
Yeah, I think this is one of the cases where you're kind of just adding and adding and adding, and it's still working. It's not. they clearly didn't. There's no way they had a vision of what was going to happen. They're clearly doing it as they go
Yeah,
along.
this
Uh,
was a hit that they didn't expect, and they rolled with it, and I think they did a great job just rolling with it, honestly.
yeah. Well, it was a good movie. I'm happy with it. This is definitely go see it in the theaters, big screen. Um, but go check it out in a premium screen.
Yeah, it is a good experience in the theater. I don't You could still see it on the television. Though. It's not like it would be a bad film on television.
I
It
know.
just wouldn't be as
I
good.
think it's more fun with a crowd, big screen, good sound, for sure. Or if you're gonna do it, have if you have like a good sound bar at home, nice big TV, and you get a big group of friends to watch it, then it's. I don't think if you're watching it by yourself on your dinky TV,
It
I
would
don't think it would
still
be as
be
good.
good.
I
It
don't
would
think it's as
still
good. I think it was a fun communal experience.
still be good.
Movies are good,
All
man.
right.
In the theater, sounds good, looks good. I was happy with it.
We'll just okay, whatever. All right.
It's an 8 out of 10 from me. 9 out of 10 from Andra. Recommend from
All right.
both of us.
All right. We will see you guys on the next one.
See you later.